Welcome back to Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Let's see, who's our monkey today? Let's go to the beat today. SMB2 challenge mode, master difficulty. The fallout requirement is 70 fallouts for this round. This is actually the third time I'm recording this. First time went so bad, I actually got 74 fallouts, so that was a big F on my part. Second time, I wasn't really happy with it because I fell a lot on Master Extra 1. I think I fell like 20 times on Master Extra 1, maybe even more. Just because I didn't understand quite what I needed to do. I don't know, it's weird to say that I'm having trouble with variable width of all things, but yeah, I felt like scrapping that run too. I felt like being all scrappy-doo about it.
Ready?
Anyway, yeah, the first stage is not much to talk about. It's just try to measure up the goal in 60 seconds. Not really a big deal. As a reminder, we're still doing warpless until we get to marathon. Then we're going to start using warps. Swing bridges is not really a complicated concept. Just make sure you keep up with the bridges. You might find Master has a common theme to it, and it's largely just keeping up with everything so that you don't fall off. Monkey Ball 1's Master decided to test you on a little bit of everything, but in this game, it's a little bit more of just testing, like, keeping up with things as like a theme. It's a bit of a weird theme, but it's a theme nonetheless. Anyway, yeah, Cylinders has a pause button. I don't think it had it in the original game. And I just remembered I forgot to look up something before I started this. That's unfortunate. It was about planets because in my mind, I guess in my head canon, if you want to say it like that, I honestly remembered I'm dead. I remembered that I'm dead. I thought I remembered there being all 3 goals in planets, or at least like a blue and a red. But as we'll see later, it's not yet. We'll get to that later. I'll bring it up again when we get to that. Oh shit, that was the wrong time to go. I don't mind waiting. Blue goal here on Passage is a little honestly. You gotta do a lot of these weird corner jumps. You gotta get good at corner jumps to get past this level. The green goal is actually down and in the middle, and arguably it's a little easier. In my personal opinion. I feel like sometimes it feels like it's easier. Alright, Notch is simply one of these levels. Think like Soft Cream, think a couple other levels. You gotta keep your balance, you gotta make sure you follow through, because if you don't, you could die. I almost died there. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. Right, we switch into World 10 at the Master 6 mark, because this is supposed to be a continuation from Expert Extra. Expert Extra leads you in here, and then you go here into Master Extra, because the World 9 and World 10 layouts are always split half and half between the amount of extra stages there are. Since Master is still considered part of the Extra series, then you had World 9 for 15 levels, and you had World 10 for 15 levels in this segment in the original game. I know it kind of feels weird now, but yeah. Oh god, I almost saved myself too, but I got angled the wrong way. That's unfortunate. I don't remember offhand if there was a goal on both sides of this stage in the original game. I want to say there was a goal only on one side, but I don't want to be totally wrong. But yeah, this stage is best played a bit aggressively. You kind of want to like get onto the main bit pretty easily, and you just want to try to make sure you have the right speed when you did. And as long as that's true, you kind of also need the right bounce. That is also very true. But as long as you did, it's not really that bad. Trying to do this naturally by simply balancing the whole way Yeah, that might get complicated. That might get complicated. I'm not gonna deny that. That might get complicated. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, we're still fine. Still fine. I almost lost it there, though. I really almost lost it. But I had enough momentum to keep going and angle myself to the goal there. Alright, if you remember Monkey Ball 2, you probably remember this level. This level was honestly a doozy. We're gonna try to do this the fast way. No, I think we were a little late on that regard. It's okay. We'll try again. There are two ways to play this level. Either you play this level this way, and I got unlucky again, wow. Either you play this level this way and hope you get it in one, or you do it the slow way and hopefully you are good at stop and go. Yeah, that was terrible. You gotta move with exactly the right timing when you do this. If you do this the slow way. Close, but no cigar. You gotta work in such a way that you're hitting the goal at low 52. If you're gonna do this that way. That was a cycle I was like pretty good at mastering the last time I recorded this, but sadly I guess I lost that ability this time. It's unfortunate. I'm still trying it though. This is just fun. But it's gonna result in fallouts galore. I definitely remember getting to the goal in like 52:10 this way. Some shit like that. I guess I need to be earlier. Slightly earlier works. So I guess we'll try to be more aggressive. That could have worked. Unfortunate. I'm spending a lot of my fallouts here. I'll probably play it safer in the marathon run. Oh boy. Alright, we'll practice the slow way. I guess we have to practice the slow way today. We're not lucky. I am not lucky today. Just be mindful, it's always a double flip. It's always a double flip. So as long as you know that, you just gotta find the right timing to proceed. A bit weird we lost like 10 fallouts on that level, but it's okay. I at least wanted to try a fast strat. Can you blame me? Not really. Alright, good old double twin. Just make sure you keep up with the platforms. Don't do anything too hasty and you should be fine. But do make sure you don't fall behind either. It is very important that you don't fall behind. Alright, final master, clock face. This might remind you of Polar. It's very similar to Polar in nature. It is very similar. Similar conceptually. Just keep up with the platforms. Don't mistake this one for the other platform, which has bumpers. Avoid the hands of the clock that are moving around, and you should be fine. If you got through Master, either from expert or either just by starting with Master, then if you got here without a continue, you could go to the Master Extras, which start with variable width, which I actually cleared on the first try, surprisingly this time. I had a lot of trouble with it because I didn't know the exact nuance of it, which was a little You gotta understand, each stage can be a little different from the original game. So, it's about trying to discard how the original game worked and just trying to make sure that you play it a certain way sometimes. Right, so Striker, you want to try to get red if under normal circumstances, but we're doing warpless, so I'm going for blue here.
Ready?
So we go to U parts, which might remind you of certain slide levels. It should remind you of that, but you need to execute this pretty well. A little bit off.
Fall out. Ready?
Once you fail, there isn't exactly a way to save yourself, by the way, so it is really just kind of like a one-time thing. The level you could probably make most similar to this is probably 8 bracelets. You need to do a kind of 8 bracelets kind of thing to make sure you go across.
Ready?
Right, so planets. I thought there was a red goal here. We can actually look at the map this time, I think. Where's the map? Oh, view stage, there we go. You might notice there's a green goal here, but I'm pretty sure there was a red goal here before. I don't know if it was after the green or if there was just a blue and a red. But here in this game, there is only a blue and a green goal, which is interesting. I just distinctly remember a red goal. I don't know if I'm like if I've completely lost it or not, but I distinctly remember a red goal here. Uh-oh. You know, if I hit green, I would have said, you know what, whatever. But it would have sucked for the run, not gonna lie. Alright. So this level works pretty similarly to Sanctuary, it's just that you have a lot more falling to do. So you're trying to continuously fall down in such a way that you keep landing flat and not on the goal directly so that you die. You can also choose to slow down and then just speed off again if you want to. If you feel uncomfortable with the way you're going, you could try to slow down. Like maybe on the one before the goal, you could try and actually slow down if you want to. I'm gonna try and demonstrate. And then just try to make sure you have the momentum to try to hit the goal. I hit off the ball, I think, yeah. I hit off the ball. That was my big problem. I was fine otherwise, but I hit the ball. Just like the original game, if you hit the ball, that usually is a problem. That usually might cause fallouts. Just because the ball's got some funny collisions sometimes. I mean, it is a ball. It is not a straight surface or anything like that. Did I land on green? I landed on green instead. Shit. Shit. I didn't actually want to do that. Okay, you know what? I can fix this, alright? It's not true warpless, but I'm gonna fix this. I promise. I need to remember to go back to extra 5 after this. I can at least play it in practice mode, so I'm just gonna do that instead. Just as a demonstration, I guess. It's a little unfortunate I did that, but whatever. It's fine. Right, so 8 seesaws should work very similarly to linear seesaws. It's just that you gotta work your movements a little bit differently. You gotta make sure they slant upward for you in such a way that you keep going to the next seesaw, but not too much so that you can't move and eventually will slide off. And these can slant, alright? So these can slant pretty well for you. So you want to make it useful in your favor. You don't want to work against it. That's the way you do that one. Alright, so Synchronize also works a little bit differently compared to the original game. The goals are in just a different position. And I already missed, so that means I might just die here. The goals were facing you the opposite way, instead of the way they were facing you here. Or it could just be a different cycle altogether. I haven't really figured that one out yet. Otherwise, however, you gotta chase these goals, and I got green again! I accidentally got green again! Oh my god.
Ready?
Worst warpless run ever. God damn. Alright, we'll go back to extra 8 then, I guess. That's fine. Dizzy system, try to hit the goal. If you don't hit the goal right away, you are not likely to survive. This isn't like the original game where you could stay the whole time if you're good enough. It's just not as likely anymore. And we make it to Destiny. Destiny is actually a Super Monkey Ball Deluxe level. It had to replace the original level known as Nintendo, which was actually you going across the nooks and crannies of a Nintendo GameCube as the final level. And you had to make sure you didn't get trapped anywhere along the way. And you had to keep up moving across edges just like we're doing here. And if you make it, then there you go. Alright, so 21 fallouts so far. Let's consider that number so far. Because we still have 2 levels to play because we accidentally skipped 2 levels. So let's go back to practice mode real quick. This is the only time I'm actually going to do this because I just don't want to record Master again. For a different reason. Right, so because we got green on planets, we went to 8 seesaws. The first level we skipped, therefore, is sliced cheese. Now, if you played the original game, you might remember sliced cheese being a difficult level. And it still is here. But it's honestly a little easier now because the second one works a little bit differently compared to before. It also looks a little bit more like cheese now. They actually put more yellow on it, so it looks a little bit more like cheese. You can sometimes actually get through this with this method, compared to the original game where you almost never did. You can sometimes do it, but not always. Ideally, you still want to try and figure out the right timing. I almost had it. Ah, okay. Let's keep up the fallout count. 23. 23. The first one you can do just fine. It's always the second one. It's always the second. I went too far. 24. It's always the second one that's a problem. It was like that in the original game as well. But you could sometimes go up against it and get through. I've done it before. I will say that. I've done it before. I'm not even close. You can also try to get through one of the smaller ones if you want to. Like that. You don't have to go for the very edge, but the very edge gives you the highest chance of going through. Alright, that was a bit scuffed, but whatever. 24 fallouts. We'll go back to stage select. The other level we skipped, which is a little bit more of a doozy than that one, is Helix, because we accidentally got green on synchronized because we missed the initial blue target. Now, Helix is definitely a level you want to skip if you want to do warps. This is definitely a level I would rather skip. I can say that for sure. If it were me, I'd rather get green on synchronized and go directly to stage 9 than play this level. And there are very good reasons for that. This level normally is very long. There are also more crazy ways you could get like a much shorter time on this. But generally speaking, this is actually a really long level, and it's something you really do want to try and skip. If you're trying to do warps, the name of the game is to try to find the warps that are both pretty simple to do and skip the most time. Because you need to consider that if you're stuck on a warp stage too long, you might need to consider the fact that the stages you're trying to skip might have taken less time after a certain point. So, if you're trying to do warps, that's the name of the game. If you're trying to do warpless, well, don't do what I did in Master Extra, because you have to reset. Don't do what I did. Get some help.
Hurry up!
I will not hurry up. I will finish on my own time. So what do we have? 25 fallouts? Yeah. That's the real final score. 25 fallouts. I'm sorry I couldn't do warpless this round. Yeah. It's a weird way to say that I don't really want to go back and do it again, but yeah. That was Master. That was every stage in Master. This is not quite warpless, it's more like I played every stage once. it still relatively counts for the sake of things. So next time, Marathon. Super Monkey Ball 2 in its entirety without stopping. We'll see what happens. 99 fallouts is the goal. Come back for that one.